And there is a question, Gaurav, for you.
Yep.
Logstash is a server.
So Logstash, this is Logstash is a product of ELK stack. It is just a product of ELK stack. So these are three different servers. Logstash is different one, Elasticsearch is a different one, and Kibana is different one. And all these server we have start separately. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
what is Logstash actually? So what we are doing into the Logstash, how it will fetch the data from the different sources, in which sources we are able to fetch the data from different sources. So now we are coming to that part. So Logstash is a data collection tool which consists of three elements. One is input, second is filter, and third is output. Inside the input, what the things are there, how we can fetch the data, from where we will fetch the data. So we can fetch the data either from HTTP, log4j file, UDP, TCP, syslog, SQS, S3, any kind of sources are there. We can take the data into the Logstash. So that will cover into the input plugin. So whenever we will discuss about Logstash, so we will cover three things. One is the data input, second is the data filter, and third is the output. We have covered the input part. Now we are coming to the filters. Filters, if we want to take in the form of map or JSON, we want to add something timestamp, or we want to take the timestamp only in the Unix system, binary system. So these all kind of filters we will push into the filters part. And at last we are coming to the output, in which form we will pass the data and where we have to pass. So when we are passing the data here, as part of output we are sending to elastic index file. So we have to define the server path where we have to send the data. Okay, this is very basic overview of Logstash. And the next is Elasticsearch. So our Elasticsearch is NoSQL database.
Gaurav,
Yep.
there are two questions. I feel maybe before moving to the further, I think it's respect to this slide. So I think we'll try to answer that questions.
Okay.
UDP or TCP from the Shravan. I think it could be with respect to the input point plugins.
Okay. Okay. So okay, we are discussing about how we input filters. So what is UDP and TCP? When we are discussing this, how we can take. So UDP is our connectionless protocol, and TCP is our connection oriented protocol. So the major difference which it will come into this is that will be the speed. So TCP is slow as compared to the UDP. So UDP will be very fast and it will send that data in the form of packets. So when we are talking about TCP, we can take the sockets. Using the socket, we can define the protocol type and we will get the data from either TCP or UDP.
Perfect. So just adding to that, Shravan. Maybe I'm trying to understand. Maybe your question could be whether the UDP or TCP is supported. So as they mentioned in that, yes, it could be the TCP or UDP. And most of the times we'll be seeing that generic could be the log4j, just appending the appender as part of my log4j application, pushing the logs. And some of the specific things will be support from HTTP also. Yes, there are these multiple things you could see. Just given some of these as examples here. Thanks, Gaurav. And one more question from Rajesh Amarnath. Where is the log visible?
Logs we will see into the Kibana. We will come into that. Here this will work. The Logstash is working as just a pipeline which will take the data, put the filters and pass it to the Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch, we have the database. We will store the data into the database. That can be like text, number, geographical, structured, non-structured. It can be in any way. So that we will store into the Elasticsearch. So Elasticsearch is a NoSQL database. We are just saving here. And at last is the Kibana. Kibana is a data visualization tool where we will see the data. We will go into the insight for the datas. We can see based on the dashboards as a diagrams, as a pie chart or graph chart. Based on that our requirement, we can do that. We can set the alerts from the Kibana. If multiple errors are coming in that time, we can set the alerts. It will send the notification to us. So these all things we can push into the Kibana. So we have covered very basic things. One is the what is Logstash, which all components we are using into the Logstash. That is input plugin, filter and output. Then next we done with the Elasticsearch. What is Elasticsearch, why we are using the Elasticsearch, which kind of data we can store in Elasticsearch. We can save either structure or non-structured. And third thing is Kibana. That is a visualization tool. We can get the data. We can see the data in different forms. That can be in form of dashboard or diagram or any graph. And the next question is why we are pushing the logs into Kibana. What is the need we have? We are using ELK stack. Why we are not bounded only with Mulesoft logs, Mulesoft runtime? Why we are not bounded with that only? The reason is Mulesoft Cloud Hub stores up to 100 MB logs per application per worker or 30 days. Means if my logs are 10 MB and it is saving for 30 days, after 31st day it will be rolled out. So which limit is coming at first, it will take that. So due to that we are not able to preserve all the logs for the long time. If I want to see the production issue, 30 days back one issue was there and client is just pointing out now. In that case, if I will try to search the logs into Cloud Hub, I will not get that logs because that are already vanished. In that situation, so we are using different tools. Someone is using into SQS or someone is using into S3, and from SQS they are sending either to the Splunk or S3. We are not sending anywhere, we are just store into the S3. Whenever something is required, we are going, we are downloading the file and we are seeing the logs. That is very hectic process. So due to that what we are doing, we are pushing the log into the Elasticsearch. So whenever the issue is coming, we are going, we are just open the Kibana, we will put the date and time, we will put the filter and we'll just search the logs, we will get the logs. So we can store the logs for long time and we can visualize the log. Yep. Clear? Okay. So now the question is how we will push the logs. Okay. So this is our Mulesoft application. Inside the whenever we will create the hello world application, after that we are doing some changes into log4j file which is there into the Mulesoft application. Once we will do the changes into log4j file, after that we have two ways. Either we can use the other tools like SQS or S3, that is based on our requirement completely. It is not necessary. Or we can directly do from log4j to logstash. And then we will go for Elasticsearch and Kibana. So this is the process. So today, as part of demonstration, everyone don't have access for the Amazon SQS secret key access. Nobody have that. So what we will do today, as part of demo, we will push the logs from Mulesoft to Logstash, Log4j to Logstash to Elasticsearch to Kibana. Okay. Now, so to push the logs from end to end, we will goes into 6 steps. First step is install Logstash, Elasticsearch, and Kibana. So this is my humble request to you guys. We will do this demo together. I'll share the link how to download that, where to download that. Please download this and do this POC with me. If any issue will be there, we will discuss now itself and we will solve the issues. So this is humble request to you guys. Please download these things. So first thing is Logstash. I'm just sharing the link with you guys.
See, just to add to that, guys, now, of course, the Gaurav is doing the ELK setup parallelly. Even if you guys want to try later, yes. At the same time, if you want to try parallelly with this, anyway, it takes 1 hour time, right? Meanwhile, even you guys can try that parallelly in your local systems. They're doing the ELK setup, which is a critical element. If you want to do that, you do. And if any questions, we'll try to address here. We'll try to help you to solve those issues here itself. Later, by seeing the video or the documentation, you may get confused, you may stuck there in specific things. So we're just trying to make it as much as interactive and helpful for you guys.
Guys, I have shared the link to you. Please download these things. Please download the Logstash, Elasticsearch, and Kibana. Then we will proceed. We are just giving 2-3 minutes to download that.
So meanwhile, we'll try to, yes, yes, Anil's Shetty, is it possible to share the recording? Yes, of course. We started the recording, right? Once the meetup is over, in next 1 or 2 days, you will get the email notification with the recording link. So I'll make sure that what are the artifacts with respect to this meetup will reach to the all the attendees who attended this meetup. Okay. So meanwhile, maybe we can try to address the questions, Gaurav, in these 2-3 minutes.
Okay, sure.
There was a question from Sanjay. Long time means, is there any limitation?
Yeah. So if we will discuss about the free product, then it can be up to 1 GB, I think. We can store that, and about the days it is for the free one, it will be up to 60 days. And then if there is not much up to 1 GB, then it will be there. Otherwise, it will be just rolled out.
Same time, as it Gaurav told Sanjay, it is for the free version, not for the full-fledged licensing one. In production environments, it anyway nobody will be using the trial version. It is only for the POCs. Generally, when we do, we'll be doing that, right? So for that one.
But if we are using like we are downloading that Logstash, we can use that. Like it depends on our system. We can set our upper limit up to 50 GB as per the shared. We can set that for a local host. But we are going for cloud, then there are so many limitations.
Hmm. Good. Thanks, Gaurav. Sandhya, hope is that answers your question. Next question is from Rajesh. What is the limitation for RTF for managing the logs?
RTF, from RTF we are managing logs from our side, so there is no limitation, Rajesh. Like we are managing the system setting for that. We are managing the infrastructure for that. It depends on us how much data we can set for that. If you can go for the settings, you can set for the 50 GB, 100 GB, or 1 TB as well. That is completely depend on you. And another thing is, it depends on the second part. Like if you will create different files for different application and day wise, that that will be more efficient way to save the logs that you can fetch based on your requirement quickly, if you're not pushing the logs into the Kibana for the on-prem. Otherwise,
Uh,
if you're using one file only, it will be hectic. Else, you can go for the S3. whenever you will saving the logs, you can create new versions of the files, because you cannot update the same file once the logs will be pushed into the S3. So you can just update the version of that file, same file.
Thanks, Gaurav. Rajesh, Amarnath, just to address more on that specific thing, as you know, the RTF is managed in the your own cloud instance. It could be Azure, AWS, or even within your on-premise servers, right? So it is up to you how you will manage that. So it is like a similar to on-premise servers. So we can whatever the capabilities you can have that on-premise logs, it is lying with you. It is not in the cloud. Even if it is there in the AWS or Azure, it's on your own cloud, your private cloud. So we don't have limitation. But yes, with respect to the logging, there are certain limitations. Like the way you do the customer loggings, right? The what is I think the logging levels, we'll say the custom one, which are not supported as of now today in the RTF within the Mulesoft. That is one thing. And there are options that I can push the logs to the multiple places. I can push to some RDBM servers, some file systems, and Splunk systems as a parallelly. That is not supported only in the RTF as of now today. So I can have only one system to push the logs currently. Yeah. Thanks, Gaurav. Links are same. Straman. Logstash, Elasticsearch links same files downloaded twice.
Sorry, I will just verify again. This is for Kibana, this is Elasticsearch, and we'll go. We can see three different products are there, guys. One is the Elasticsearch, we can download. Next is Kibana, and third one is Logstash. So these three products we are using: Logstash, Elasticsearch, Kibana. Just share this link again. Guys, is it downloaded? Yes, great. So now, if it is downloaded, then you can unzip that files. Okay. So first of all, we are going for Elasticsearch. If we will open the Elasticsearch, Logstash not available to find Windows version. Sorry. Logstash download. This is Windows version. This is Windows version, guys. Yeah. Okay. We moved into the Elasticsearch folder. So we are going for the configuration. Inside the configuration, we are going elasticsearch.yaml file. So this is our Elasticsearch file. If you will see, everything is commented in this file. I'm going for very basic configuration. The other configuration you can try if you want to update your cluster name or node name, if anything you want to update. As of now, I will just uncomment two things. One is the path.data and another is path.log. Okay, guys, please uncomment these two things. And another is network port 9200. Three things are done. Okay, great. Once these three things are done, we are just closing the file and come one step back inside the bin folder. Click here CMD. and run this Logstash server. Sorry, Elasticsearch server. Elasticsearch.bat. Now we are going to the browser, localhost 9200. When I hit this endpoint, I can see Elasticsearch server is up and running. This is the first part. We have done the configuration of Elasticsearch. Up to here, network host and last one. Network host. From the network host, I'll share again from the Elasticsearch, from the network host. Okay. So we can see localhost 9200. The server is up and running. Up to here, any issues, guys, please let me know. What is the file name? Okay. Inside the Elasticsearch, go to the config and update elasticsearch.yaml file. Okay. The first step is completed for the configuration side. Now we are going for the second part. In second part, we are going for Kibana. Inside the Kibana, going to the config folder and going for kibana.yaml file. So first thing is we have to open the server.port and server.host. Then with this, guys, this file have more changes, so please do simultaneously. Then we are coming to the last. These are all basic configuration. Logging verbals, you want true or false, that all depends on you. It is not mandatory as well. Yep. Kibana.yaml changes
Gaurav,
is
one
done.
second.
Yep.
Devendra was mentioning that not able to hear you. Guys, is this the same problem? Not able to hear? At least I'm able to hear the Gaurav's voice. Can someone confirm? Or it is only issue with Devendra? Able, I'm able to hear, able to hear. Okay. 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 Thank you. Okay. Now able to. Yeah. Thank you, Gaurav. Yeah, continue. I think there are some glitch from Devendra for some times. Some
Sure.
seconds.
Rajesh, is there any way how can we share the file on Baby?
Not sure. See in the chart, you can choose the file, full file. Is there a
Okay.
possibility that you can drag and drop the in the chart attachments?
Okay. No.
No, maybe it is not allowing is a browser based, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. So you go ahead with this thing. So what the best thing is, what we can do is at the end of this thing, anyway, we'll upload in our GitHub. So
Yeah.
the GitHub thing we'll try to share with the all the configured data points, so that
Yeah.
they can recheck.
Sure.
Yeah.
The things I'm just pasting, they can remove the complete and they can just uncomment these things.
I think that is also good option, Gaurav. Yeah, you can do that way. Yeah.
Guys, line number is also same. If I'm just telling line number 2, line number 7, line number 32, 69, 73, 84, 87, 93, 96, 99, 103, 07. You can update with this. Once we did these changes, we can go to our server in the bin folder, open the cmd, bana.bat, run the server. Okay, it is running. Meanwhile, we are going for the third part. Guys, any issues need some time or will good to proceed? Please ping in the chat window. Okay, sure.
Wait, give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Good. So this like it is like a workshop, Gaurav. So even the people are who doing this, I think it's good. Error cannot find the module. Okay, well, no, I don't know. Is that issue in the extract while during the extracting of the package?
Yeah, this is extraction issue. We can use 7-zip to extract that. So we can see it is getting start, but here Kibana is now unavailable. Server is started, Kibana is available. Earlier it was unavailable, but now it is available. What is the port? We can see localhost 5601. Yeah, the both things are working now. We are just waiting here. Guys, please ping once it is done. Or if anyone is facing issue, please let us know. Till now, we have started two servers. One is Elasticsearch and another is Kibana. If any issues in these two servers, please ping here now. Are we good to proceed? Anyone or we need time? Please ping. Sure. I will explain again if it is required. Inside the Kibana, we have commented server port, server host, elastic host. So guys, this is the thing where we are indicating to Kibana, like from where we have to fetch the logs. What is the Elasticsearch host? That is HTTP localhost 9200. This is just ping timeout, response timeout, share timeout, log queries, very basic information. File name for Logstash, we will proceed. Give 2 minutes. We will proceed together. Logstash have the major changes. We'll go together. Harshad, is it done? Great. Guys, if anyone need time, then ping, please ping here. Otherwise, we are just proceeding with the log stash. Great. Rajesh, please let me know if they need time. Yeah.
I think looks okay. We can proceed
Yeah.
with the log stash, right? Yeah.
Okay, great. So now we are going to the log stash. Inside the log stash, going to the config. There are two files. One is the logstash.yaml and another is pipeline.yaml. We'll go and update one by one. Okay. So first I have opened logstash.yaml file. Here I have to just update the path, data path. This can be anything like any path where you want to save the data. Okay. Only this change we have to do for logstash.yaml. Is it done? Now we are moving for pipelines.yaml. Inside this, we will update the pipeline.id, pipeline workers, pipeline batch size, config string, and path config. Is these two changes completed? Okay, we are moving to the next, closing the pipeline files. After the pipeline, we have configuration file. So either we can create the configuration file in config folder or we can create into the bin folder. If we are creating the file into bin folder, it will be easy for run the command. Otherwise, we have to give the path and then we can run this server. So here we have to create one new file, that is logstash. Whatever the name you want to give, you can give, but it should be the configuration. Here in this file, we will define how we will take the data. We are taking as a TCP. What will be the port? You can give any port. I have just written randomly 4560. In which format? JSON. And these things, guys, I have updated into the chat window. Here, you can copy that. This is commented one, so we can ignore these two lines. So first we have defined in the logstash three things we have to define. One is input, second is filter, and third is output. As part of input, we will take as a TCP. What will be the port? That will be 4560. Codec will be the JSON. This is the input. We will close the input. The second will be the filter. We are just matching the time millis. And the third is output. We are sending this to Elasticsearch. When we are sending to Elasticsearch, what will be the host of that? That is localhost, and the port is 9200 on which it is running. We can see here 9200. Elasticsearch is running. And the third thing is index. So this is very important thing. Index. So what is the index here? Index is nothing but like whenever it will we will push the data into Elasticsearch, it will it will create the indexing of our data. So what will be the index for different application? Either you can give the different indexes, or you can create one index for all the applications based on your requirement or based of your business unit or groups. Okay, so this name will be required for Kibana as well when we will fetch the logs. So please remember this name while you are giving. Okay, if any username password is required for Elasticsearch we are using, we can use username and password for the same. Okay. Okay, if it is done, shall I close this? How logs will transfer from Elasticsearch to Kibana? Okay, we are just coming to that. We will just complete the configuration. I will come to this point, Rajesh.
Yeah, yeah, continue.
Okay, I'm just closing this file. I hope we are on path, and this file we can save into the bin folder. Now we are going to the bin folder. We will run logstash dot bat hyphen minus f, and we will give this configuration file path. What is that? Logstash hyphen studio.config, and then we will run this. Okay, so we can see the pipeline is started successfully. Successfully started logstash endpoint is on port 9600. Now we will open port localhost 9600. We can see this is also working now. So logstash is working, Elasticsearch is working, and Kibana is working. The next thing is, before going to the next step, I will just clarify one question here. That is commands, please. Okay, there is no specific command, Devendra. So what we are doing, we have just put the file name minus f, and we are just giving the configuration file name. Okay. So the question was flowing of logs from Logstash to Elasticsearch, understood, but how it will transfer from Elasticsearch to Kibana? Okay, when we have done the configuration for Elasticsearch, we have updated one thing, that was, sorry, Elasticsearch.host inside the Kibana.yaml. The URL of Elasticsearch instance to use for all your queries. Whenever the data is in Elasticsearch and we want to take into Kibana, we have to provide Elasticsearch host inside the kibana.yaml file. So using this, we will fetch the logs from Elasticsearch to Kibana. Okay, I hope it is clear your doubt. Great. Now we will create a very simple application in Mulesoft. Hello World application. We can create that. Nothing much. What I have done with the application is we have just defined the set payload, just key pair value. I've updated that for the transformation and just displaying the logs. Nothing much. Not able to hear. Rajesh, am I audible? Rajesh Naga?
I am able to hear you. Sorry, I was taking
Great,
speaking on mute.
great. Thank you.
No, I
So,
think
guys,
I was see couple of times this thing. Looks like there is a glitch on this thing. Sometimes there is a looks like some drop on the voice.
okay,
At least now again back there's no disturbance at least from my end. Okay, in the people also started confirming, right? I think it's okay, Gaurav.
great. Guys, please create very simple application, Hello World or Playground, whatever name is required. So, just create that. Simple listener, if any transformation is required, else we can take directly logger. No issues. We have 3 minutes for that. On 5 we will proceed for the next step. Meanwhile, if any question is there, please ping in the chat window. I hope it is done for everyone. Guys, please ping in the chat if it is done. It is completed. Please ping.
Okay, looks like you okay.
Please ping if you need time. Then also please ping, guys. So we will be aware. We have to wait or we have to proceed. Devinder, Ramswamy, Rajesh, Venkat, Ajay, please being done. Finally, yeah, Rajesh and
Man,
Harshad.
when you say Rajesh, always I confuse myself.
Next time I will say Rajesh D.
Mm, yeah, looks like done. Most of the
Okay.
people.
Created app is done. Great. Great, guys. Now, for this one, we are doing the log4j changes because if you remember the presentation, we have so if we will see this diagram based on the diagram, Mulesoft application we have created, Logstash we have done, Elasticsearch we have done, Kibana we have done, SQS we will not use. So what thing is pending? Which is pending? Only log4j. We will do these changes into log4j and then we will run this end to end. We will see. Open the log4j file, guys. Inside the log4j, we have only one appender as of now. That is rolling file. So please add one more appender, that is for socket, and protocol will be TCP. I'm just pushing this into the chat window. So when we are when we are sending the logs into logstash, what things we have to update into the log4j file? First thing is appender. We have to update the appender. What this appender will do? It will send the data simultaneously. One is the rolling file. It will update the file, and we are sending logs to the socket, which will be TCP. And the thing is, which these four things are. The first thing is name. This is very important attribute. Please write whatever you require based on your requirement. I have just given socket. Second is the host. What is this host? What is this port? This host and port will be same which we have given into logstash input request. If you will open now the logstash input file, sorry, yep, logstash studio.config, where the input folder when we are using the port is 4560. This port should be same as the log4j port. Guys, I think it is clear. The port will be same whatever we are giving into studio's port. Okay, and it will be the local host and the protocol will be TCP. Okay, this is the first thing. The second thing is we have to copy this name, socket name we will copy, and we have to update this into appender reference. So which two things are required to update into log4j is one is appender and second is appender reference. Okay, I hope these two things we have covered nicely. Guys, please let me know if any question or any doubt here. I have pinged these two things into the chat window. Once we will update these two things, we will run the application. And before proceeding for the next step, we will restart two things. One is Elasticsearch and another is Kibana. Why we are doing the restart? Because once we have created index now, so once it will application will start, we will just restart these two things, Elasticsearch and Kibana. But before that only I will display one thing. If I hit this endpoint, the logs will be there in the endpoint, but it will not be there in the Kibana. So how we will get that? We will do that now. Before that, I'm just restarting two things. One is the Elasticsearch. I have stopped that. To stop that server, just press Control plus C. Stop the Kibana as well. Once I stop these two servers, first starting the Elasticsearch. We'll verify. Yeah, Elasticsearch restart done. Now restarting the Kibana. Now Kibana is also available. We will just verify. Up to here, any issues, please ping, guys. Now we are going for very important part of the Kibana configuration. Harshad, Saurabh, Ajay, Venkat, Devendra, Ritika, please comment if it is done. Great. Now we are going to the Kibana. Inside the Kibana, when we are on home page, we can see one option is there, manage index life cycle. We will just click on that, and here we will go for Kibana index patterns. We'll just click on index patterns. Now, if you will see, the important part is the mule logs. Whatever the index name you have given, automatically it is appearing into the index pattern. Guys, please ping this in chat window. This is very important thing. The index pattern is appeared into the into here or not. If it is not, we have to stop. If it is appearing, we have to proceed. Please ping into the chat window, guys. The thing is, the index pattern, whatever you have updated into the configuration, I have given the mule logs. The same thing is coming into the index pattern or not. Yes or no, guys? Yes, I'm not seeing it. Have you restarted, Murli? Have you restarted your Elasticsearch and Kibana? Some issue in the when you have started the Elastic Logstash, that time some issue was there. So can you please check the command again? When you started the Logstash, the command was logstash.bat -f. I have put the configuration file inside bin folder. If you have not put into bin folder, you have to specify the path here for this file. If this file is picked up, it will work. Yes, please restart your logstash again with this command and put this file into this configuration file into bin folder. If it is not bin folder, then you have to give that path updated path. You can see inside the logstash in the bin folder, I have this file. Inside the bin folder, I have configuration studio.conf. Devender, Rajesh, Harshad, Saurabh, Ajay, could you please comment, please? So, based on your input, we will proceed. We have only one success scenario, that is with Ritika. Yes, great. Restarting Logstash. Done. I can see index pattern. Great. We'll just wait 2 minutes for Rajesh and Murli. Yeah. On 5:20 we will proceed. Meanwhile, guys, if you have any question or any doubt, please put into the chat window. We will clarify. Great. Can I connect directly my Mule Log4j to Kibana instead of going through Logstash Elastic? Okay. One question here, Santosh, is if you are doing directly into Kibana, you don't want to preserve your logs more than 30 days. First thing, if you not want, we have to just update one configuration from there. We can do that, but there is no point for that. Another thing, two things are there. Please don't take as a positive part and negative. So first thing, if you will update that into Kibana directly, my first question, what you will update into kibana.yaml from where you are fetching the logs? For that, you need at least some pipeline which will take the logs. The first thing, if you want to go directly, we will go and write one Java class for that. Using that, it is possible. Okay. If you are taking directly into Kibana, in this scenario, we are not able to preserve the log more than 30 days, or if the logs are over after 100 MB, it is not able to visible that logs because Kibana is not saving anything. Kibana is just visualizing the logs whichever is present into Elasticsearch. I just restarted Logstash with required configuration file, no luck. Uh, please restart. Please restart Elasticsearch and Kibana as well. If it is not, we will connect after the meetup. No issues. We are just going with the flow now. If it is not, we will connect after the meetup. Murli. No issues. The now I'm yeah. What's significance of bidirectional flow between Elasticsearch and Kibana? Okay. So from Elasticsearch, we are just what my intention was here to put that bidirectional symbol is like whenever here one symbol is there. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So the thing is like whenever Kibana will put the query, we are fetching the request and Elasticsearch will like as of now I have not created anything, I have not fetched anything, but still Kibana is able to create the index. How it have created the index? So these all configuration, like I have just done the bidirectional, some configuration part as well. Okay, like I have not put any query yet. Once I will do the query, it will take the log from 9200. But before that, like these things, for that we have put the bidirectional. Okay, now can we directly push logs Elasticsearch skipping log stash step? You can do that. You can do that. But why we are using here Logstash is like if you are using different pipelines for different applications, or you are taking from different sources, for that we are using. You can directly push into Elasticsearch as well. Now the next step is we will write the name. We will click on create index pattern, and here just write the same name, mule hyphen logs. If you need a star, you can create that. Like it can be anything after that. Like if you don't want, you want to give a specific name, you can just use mule logs, but it is already present now, the index. Okay. If I will go here, overview, discover, the Kibana is mule logs is coming. Okay. If the index pattern is not created for any of one, if index pattern is not created, like for me it's created automatically. If it is not created, in that case please click on index pattern and write the same name. The name will be there, mule logs. If you create index pattern mule logs, like it is already created for me, that's why it is showing it's already created. If it is not created, I'll just create one more like this, or just click on next step and create. Once it is created successfully, click on hamburger icon and click on discover, and now you hit your application. If you will hit your application, you can see the logs on mule.logs. Like 1 minute back, I have triggered and I'm getting the log 1724. Just now it is coming. This is the message. Guys, please try this. I hope index is created for everyone. If it is not created, you can create one new index and click on discover. On this drop down, you can see your index name. Once you will click on the index name, then you hit the endpoint. Once you will hit the endpoint, you are able to see the logs. Yep, few seconds back, 25:59. Elasticsearch manage NoSQL database internally. Why should not bother about maintaining NoSQL database? We are not bothered because Elasticsearch is maintaining for us. If you want to do manually, in that case, we will write one Java class for that. Once we will push the logs manually into NoSQL database, and then we are doing the same thing manually. What Elasticsearch is doing for us, we have to do manually for the same. We can do that. There is no like impossible way. We can do that. That is possible. We have to create that. We have to maintain from our end. But in this case, Elasticsearch will maintain everything about the loading and all. Guys, if you are able to fetch the log, please give a green signal to me. Arshad, Rajesh. Sorry, I missed one question. Sorry. For external logging among many tools, okay, which is the best tool to use? Okay, so this is completely depend on requirement. Some people will push the logs into Splunk, someone will push into the Kibana, and someone will pushing into the S3. So this is completely depends on requirement where we want to push. But mostly people are using either Splunk, Kibana, or Grafana. Three tools generally using. That is open source. Grafana is there, and Kibana and Splunk. That is the paid one they are using. Great. Yes, working now. Yes, can see the logs working. Able to see the logs. That is great. So once we are able to see the logs, now we can play among with these logs, like based on your date, times. You can add some filters, like if you want to see some timestamp or ID or version. This we have updated only one field, that is message. In the same way, when we will create index, we can create multiple fields as well. So this is the way we can create multiple. One minute, guys. Sorry. So here we have created only one column, that is the message. If we want to push anything, we can update from message like that, guys. If we want to update the other things like business group ID or some other thing like customer ID, customer number. So these details also we can update. For that, we have to create different fields for the same. Fine. So that we can cover. If you feel this session is good, you can provide feedback, and based on your feedback, we can continue with the advanced session. This was very basic session where we have configure everything and push the logs into Kibana. If you feel this session is good, we can take one more session, part 2, where we will create multiple columns, we will trigger the alerts and all, so that we can manage. Okay, this was the another thing. And second, if we want to use from sqs, then same, we from log4j file we will push the logs into sqs. From sqs it will come into the log stash, and this, the other things will be same. There is no change, only the change inside the log4j file. A part of log4j there is no change, the whole example will be same. Okay, what are the filters we can add, and is there any specific pattern we have to give when defining? Okay, uh, from here, if we want to add filters, like I have some specific customers, like customer id 12345, or it is starting customer id is starting mule 123, and another is Mulesoft 123, or application 123. I want to proceed only Mule 123. On that time, these kind of filters we can put into the log stash. It will not accept that logs. So that kind of logs we can put, and we can update the filter part. Any kind of filter which is we can put into the data, we can add that. Okay, and there is no specific like how we are defining in JSON, kind that only we will define. Okay, second question is, can I create alerts email if any error? Yes, we can do that. We will cover all these things into the session 2. How to do that, how to put the filters, how to add that messages, how to add alerts, watcher alerts. We will cover these things into the advanced session, how to do that. These things are possible. Yes. Due to timeline, I'm just bounded with that, guys. Really sorry for that, but if you already feel good, we can do that. Excited for part 2, hope it happens soon. Sure, Harshad, that completely depend on everyone's feedback. Yep. Now, guys, quickly I'm just sharing my screen again, and we are going to the presentation part, and please let me know if any issue is there. So we have covered this. We have covered what is Logstash, how to put the filters and output. What is Elasticsearch and Kibana? We have covered why we need to push logs. That is also covered because logs are in Cloud Hub. We can store up to 100 MB of the logs per application per worker, or 30 days, whichever limit is reached first. Due to that, we are using Elasticsearch and Kibana. How we are pushing? We covered that. So we have covered how to install that, how configure Kibana, configure Elasticsearch, configure Logstash, create Hello World application, and configure Log4j. And at last, visualize the log into Kibana. We have covered these 6 steps. So this is the step by step. We can download this, and please update the latest version. Second is how we configured the Elasticsearch. We went to configure a folder. We open the elasticsearch.yml, verify the port number, default port is 9200, set the port in the logstash bin config file output. Okay, and then we run the elasticsearch, and it will be like that. The second is configure Kibana. Open the kibana.yml, update the default host and port, and we will run that kibana.bat. We can see the Elasticsearch is Kibana is working, and not Elasticsearch should be up and running for Kibana application. If Elasticsearch fails to run, you will not be able to run the Kibana application. Why? Because this is tightly coupled with each other. It will be open, but it will not able to fetch the queries. We are not able to get the logs because everything is saved into Elasticsearch. We are just taking the data from Elasticsearch to Kibana. Okay, and now we are coming to the log stash. We will open the configuration. We can copy this sample file, or we can create new file. That is completely depend on us. And log stash and pipeline files are there. So we are updating here Logstash. If it is SQS file, we can update that SQLs like this. We will update the input filter like this. If it is local host, we are using TCP or whatever it is required. Even it is on cloud, we can use that ports, whatever it is required for us. That we have given the detail. We can put the filters. We can put the output for the username and password as well. It is given. Then we are going to the logstash folder. We are running that. We'll create the index for Kibana. We'll trigger the logstash pat file. It is working. We can check that, verify that. Now the last step is, second last is, we are updating the, we created hello world application and now we are configuring log4j. This is for SQS. We can use the HTTP appender. We have seen the TCP. Why I have done with different, because I was about to explain regarding two. One demo we have done and another POC we can see here. Like name we have given SQS and then URL, on which URL we are providing the SQS. And third, we have to update the appender reference. This is completed. The application deploy. Yes, one thing I forgot to explain is Cloud Hub. When this we have done in the local system. When we are going for Cloud Hub application, we have to disable this option. Disable Cloud Hub logs. If we will not disable, our logs will not move into the pipelines, Logstash or anywhere. But the question here is, if I will disable that, I will not able to see the logs into log4j. Cloud Hub. For that also we have to do the configuration change. What we have to do, we are seeing now. Disable the Cloud Hub logs from here and update this log4j appender. Like how we updated the log4j for SQS or socket connection. Like the same way, log4j Cloud Hub appender is available. This is available on Mulesoft site. I will share the link as well. Okay, so this we have to update Mulesoft log4j appender. So we can go here, docs.mulesoft.com, custom log appender. We can copy this log4j appender. So we have to copy this log4j appender and we have to update into the log4j file. And after that, the same way we have to update the appender reference. The same way, if you want to update into Splunk, you can add the Splunk configuration here and you can add the appender reference. This is the same way. I have updated the link here. Okay. This is the way how we can disable the Cloud Hub logs and can see the logs into the Cloud Hub. If we want to see after disabling as well, we have to update the log4j appender. If we not want to see the log4j, if we not want to see the logs into Cloud Hub, just disable that and no need to update the appender. Okay. And how we will visualize the log, we will go to the stack management, index pattern, the same way. We'll create the index. If it is created, we can see the index and we can visual the logs into the visualization form. We can add the filter based on the requirement. We can change the date time and it will be displayed. So there are some references which we can use. The presentation will be shared after the meetup on the meetup site, so you can download the links as well. Guys, any question? Okay, great. Thank you guys for very good feedback. Please let me know if any question or any queries is there. Even mostly all we have covered with the session itself. But if anything is there, then please let us know. Otherwise, we are coming to the trivia questions. That is very good quiz, and you have to be prepared, mentally be prepared. The question will be very easy. So guys, this is my humble request. I will not handle trivia quiz. Rajesh will manage. So I'm just giving the advice. Please be prepared and ready to type the answers in these questions. So Rajesh, I don't think they have any questions. I'm not able to see. So it's hand over to you. Thank you guys.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gaurav. I think the session was excellent. I could see a lot of comments. So the session was very good. Thank you very much. Definitely, we're excited. We are hoping the second part will be very soon. So I
Yep.
don't know whether you plan the part two in the next two within quarter, but looks like you may need to plan quickly. So let's plan it sometime. Uh, mid of end of the September or mid of the October or sometime. Uh, Gaurav. So I think that
Yeah.
could be the essential element here.
Sure, sure,
Okay.
Rajesh.
Thank you.
I was just
Okay.
waiting for the feedback. Before going to the trivia, two questions are there.
Yeah. Sure.
Sorry, one
Take. Yeah.
question is there. I'll just take that. What are the limitation of external logging? So this is completely depend on external tool. Uh, how which tool you are using. Like if you're using Splunk or Kibana or you're pushing into some other tool, Grafana. So this is completely depend on their limitation. Like if there are also two ways. If you're using for trial version, your practices and your non-production environment, Kibana, it is good. You can test that, you can try that. But if you're going for production, you can purchase that because there is limitation for data validation, sorry, data storage on Elasticsearch, no database. You have to verify that. And from the Kibana, we can see the watcher alerts or not. That few things are there, like we can trigger the emails and these things. These are not, I think these are not available on the free tier. So we have to go for that external tool limitations. We have to be prepared for that. Yeah, that's it, Rajesh. Rajesh, it's all to you. You are on mute. Sorry for that. Yeah. Am I audible, guys? Rajesh, Naga. Okay. Thank you, guys. Just waiting for Rajesh. Give me 2 minutes, guys. We'll just ping to Rajesh. Rajesh, please re-log in. Will be very everyone will give answer. But now the thing is we will take top first answer for all three questions. So please be ready with that. Rajesh is back. Rajesh, you are on mute. Sure, I'll just try. Give me 1 minute. No, Rajesh, I'm not able to. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. I'm just sharing my screen, Rajesh. I'm not able to unmute you. No, for host, I don't have any access. Nagraj, can you please try to unmute?
No, even I don't have access. It's disabled.
Rajesh, can you please try to take a presenter mode? Maybe you can. Yes, please. Sorry for that. Please give 2 more minutes.
Hello.
It's audible now. Thank
Uh,
you.
sorry, guys. I think today's some issue. This very frequently I'm getting this audio issues. Okay,
Okay.
good. At least I'm back at the end. Yeah, maybe I missed you a few seconds. So we started, Gaurav.
Yeah, yeah, please start. Stop sharing screen. Few people
You
left
mean?
before that trivia quiz. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Then without wasting the time, I'll just start pushing the this trivia thing then. Thank you. Okay, so the guys maybe Gaurav covered the trivia quiz, right? There are three questions as part of the trivia quiz. It could be optional, multiple choice one, where you have to choose the option A, B, C, or D, or it could be a direct question. You have to type the answer in the chart. Overall, the answers could be provided in the chart. We don't have any third-party application initially planned Kahoot due to some restrictions or some access related things. We could not able to proceed. So the option is now go ahead and submit your answer in the chart. Okay, submit your answer in the chart. So when I pop up the first question, I'll just put here for my reference. Whoever answer the first question, they'll be the winner. I'm going to the first one. Okay, before that, Gaurav, you're able to hear my this thing, right? Comments, right? Okay, thank you. Log stash is used for.
A, C, A, D. D is the first right answer we have. Yeah.
Good. So maybe you can answer the yeah, just the justification, Gaurav. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So first answer is like, can you share your screen, Rajesh, on the question? Yeah. The first option is Logstash is used for storage of data. No, we are not storing anything. Visualization, no. Where we are storing the data, we are storing into the Kibana. Visualization, we are doing into, sorry, storage, we are doing into Elasticsearch. Visualization, we are doing into Kibana. Analysis, we are doing into Elasticsearch. Analysis and storage. And last is data collection and parsing. We are taking from different sources. Logstash, it is taking the data from different sources and parsing if we want to put any filter, that we are doing. So okay, we got answer from, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The first to right answer was Panikiran. Panikiran.
Yeah,
Funny, can you put your email address in the chart, please, so that I'll note down? Panikiran PWC. Okay. Good. Thanks. So I'm jumping into the next question. What changes are required for the log4j file?
we got our answers, Rajesh. Appended, it's appender, it's typo. Appender. Yeah, Kalyan, this is correct answer, but this is partial. Add appender and appender ref. Yes. Add appender and appender reference. Yes. We got correct answers, Rajesh.
Yes. So as you guys know that yes, appender and appender references both should be there.
So
That was
guys,
this thing. Yes. Thank you.
so as we discussed, like it's not only appender, because if you will add the appender and you are not adding the appender reference, in that case the logs will not go into your external tool. If you want to move the logs into external tools, these two things are mandatory. We have to update into appender and appender reference at the both places. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, Rajesh, it's all to you.
Sorry, it was my this thing. Yeah. So Ritika Sharma, right? Or Ritika, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ritika, can you put your email ID here in the chat? I know you are expert in ELCO, so I'm sure you could have done the answer quickly. Just put your email in the chat, Ritika.
And guys, please share the same email ID from which you have registered the meetup. Otherwise, it will not be. You will not be able to get the proper voucher. And training account should be on the same email ID.
Excellent. So I'm just jumping into the next question. How to push the logs into Kibana from multiple sources as SQS and S3? Again, how to push the logs into Kibana from multiple sources as SQS and S3?
More appenders. Yes. Ritika, don't worry. You will not get multiple vouchers. Yeah, we got the correct answer
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
for
So, Ritika, you already
Santosh.
won. So, but thanks for your enthusiasm to answer that. Good. So, who is the next one from after Ritika?
Santosh. Sant-
Santosh.
yeah,
Yeah,
multiple
Santosh. Yeah.
appenders.
Congratulations, Santosh. Can you put your email ID? Good. Congratulations, guys, all the winners. I'll stop sharing the screen. I think there's a three questions. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful session. I'll stop sharing. So before wrapping up the session, just a few points. So any feedback on the meetup content or the sessions, if you have anything, end of this meetup, you'll be getting the this survey. Please fill it up. So this will be helpful to understand which are the interesting topics you want to take up in the coming activity, coming meetup sessions, and what is the feedback. You do want to say anything. So that will be helpful really. And moreover, thank you, Gaurav, very much for your wonderful session. I think the people are enjoyed. Thanks. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.